here were here for the last session. I will touch a little bit on that just to finalize everything with that, but this is kind of the next step. So everything we did before was about stacking your waves, crashing them, getting damage on tower, all that good stuff. Now we've got to talk a bit more. So this is getting to, it's gonna have a little bit of overlap with the last session. So this is just mainly closing out games. Tempo is important to do that, and kind of getting objectives and all that good stuff. It's going to be a lot about farming. It's a little bit chaotic, right? Because a lot of these replays and a lot of everything that I have to do, it has to be manageable in a lower elo. So in pro games, it's a lot cleaner, and so I'll have some examples from that. But then in your lower elo games, it's going to be fucking chaos, but it still works. So the big benefit of what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be talking about what happens once the towers are gone, once you've broken the first tower of the game. And we're going to be sticking to the chaos that is lower elo, but making sure that we're getting maximum farm in between it and maximizing that when we take these random fights, that we're in the best position to actually take more objectives and win the game rather than getting kills. I've got a billion replays that exist of just people who are 6 kills, 0 deaths and lose their game and don't know why, which makes complete sense, right? And that's mostly down to this. That's mostly down to tempo and people not pushing their lanes before they go do things. I'll chuck my screen on. Where am I? Here we go. So this is something that this game that one of you guys sent in as the Vladimir. That's our protagonist here. And this is a big example of exactly that. I think we're like 6-1 at some point this game, and we lose this. So this is like, it all kind of starts here, right? So we get this awesome solo kill. Great work. And this is actually great. So this is subject 1 that we're talking about is the tempo. So 9 times out of 10, what I see people do is get a random kill like this and then go insta-do dragon, or get a random kill like this and push an extra wave, which is really bad actually, right? And we get some instant feedback. Our protagonist is a good boy and insta recalls. So this is something really important, right, to think about, is this guy's death timer is kind of your timer that I like to use. So whenever you get a kill, whenever you do something, and it's past very early lane, this is your timer, right? You want to recall before this says 8 seconds, your 8 recalls 8 seconds, you want to be out on the map at least at the same time as them. But if you can be sooner, great, because then we can get out and we can push our waves and we can be set up for whatever's next. So here, our Vladimir's a good boy, he bases, he comes out quicker, and he gets a couple 2 free kills, right? So if he stays and pushes this wave, because he's a greedy boy, he misses out on these 2 free kills. 1 free kill, sad for him. So that's good, right? That is instant feedback on that recall as fast as you possible is good. So you can imagine, right, if he didn't do that recall and they were and he stayed for this extra wave, maybe the enemy see that they win this fight or they take dragon while he's in base or something, right? And he can't stay because he just got a bunch of kills. He needs to base fast. So that's the big thing, right? Once you get whatever you're getting, you want to recall as quick as possible every single time so you can come out at the same time as your opponent. It's nice that he runs here and gets these kills too, but this is the big one, boys. This is the really important one that we're going to do from now on is side waves. So the amount of gold that goes down the drain in the CS numbers in lower elos are so bad. And it's also the reason that your games don't end. It's because you can't get any of this gold, any of these objectives, right? So Vladimir's been a good boy. He's done that. But now he's just griefing our Twitch, taking farm. This student as well asked, because they had a split pushing Scion the whole game. He was just ending the game. What can we do about that? I watched this guy build nothing but armor as well, so this Vladimir would be absolutely rinsing him. So this is what we don't want. So basically every time you come out of map, the basic process is you look at your map as a whole, and if the waves are on your side of the river, you go catch your side waves, and you play safe mid, and you push the sideways as far as you can, and once you push the sideways, then you can go mid and you can help the boys out. So that's what we're going to do. We had a little fun. We check our sideways. They're both bad. So we're going to go fix them. So at this point, right, a lot of the time people will just take a random fight and die here. Doesn't matter, right? What matters more is getting these waves. Once you've got the waves, right, then you come down. And so I think we've got a really good example with this top wave at some point. So we're losing a bunch of farm here. It's going this way. Is it this game? Might be a different replay. I'm not sure. Either way, this guy's just taking 3 towers, so we're sad. Push this out. So yeah, this is the problem. Supporter Mimi is not... Oh, it's Jungler Mimi, not having fun. Doing the chores before killing the kills, exactly. Where is this replay that I have? There's one. Here we go. It might be this replay. Sorry guys, wrong one. This one. Don't you have to record this? I think Dylan's recording all this. Alright, we're at 12, 13 minutes. So the really cool thing about League, right, is so we explained in the first lesson that you want to push in a wave, right? So you stack the wave, you push it all at once, and then once you kill the wave comes every 30 seconds, you kill a wave in 10 seconds, you have 20 seconds until the next one's there. So you have 20 seconds to go do something, right? So you kill a wave here, there's 20 seconds till the next wave's there. So realistically, there's about 35 until the enemy pushes it and goes in your tower. So that's your timer, you have to be back home, right? But the beautiful thing is, once this tower's gone, you can push the wave to here, right? So you're not pushing the wave to here, then enemy kills this one wave and it goes in your tower, you have to come back. You can push the wave to here, and they have to kill one wave here and one wave here before it goes in. And if they're not really strong or they're scared, instead of having to push 2 waves, it might be 3. So essentially what you can do is you can push once the wave gets to this point, you can go mid and you can stay there for a minute instead of for 30 seconds, right? So this is what we can do all the time, because everyone, they take side wave towers and then they go area mid and they share farm forever. Instead of doing that, we run top, we push it all the way down, and then we don't have to be home for another minute, which is really nice. So I think in this replay, this Wukong does go push top, and we get a really nice wave because of it. He's a good boy, pushes this. Does he push the next one? Oh, it's 17 minutes, sorry. That was a different point. I'll come back to that. All right, here. So our Wukong pushes the top wave. So it's a big long lane. So once he gets it here, think about how many waves the enemy has to push before it's back at this tower. Once it gets to this tower is the time that he has to be back home, right? And vice versa, they can do the same thing. If they push it to here, they have all this time. See, it took Wukong like 3 waves before it touched this tower, but they have to have someone here now. So watch how much gold is lost here, right? Regardless of all this fighting, which Wukong wasn't a part of because he was a dumbass, but we'll go back to that. But just check out how much gold the swing is here. I'm just going to watch this wave. So this is your big advantage with long lanes. Look how much gold this was. This is about 5 waves. So just by pushing 2 or 3 minion waves, he denied 5 waves because the enemy, he denied like 2 here, and then he denied 4 or 5 coming back. And then they come and they catch all this. And so obviously here, there's been a massive gold swing. We could probably go back, and regardless of all the fighting, there's probably a massive gold swing. So here it's even. Then we come forward and we get all this money. It's like a K gold. Easily over a K gold. So this is what we're going to start doing, is getting waves in like this. So you can push very simply, wave crashes. You don't have to be home for like 10 years. If someone comes here and pushes this, right, you can go mid, and that guy's stuck here for about a minute because he's got to catch all those minion waves. And then you can be in this fight being a good boy, joining with your team, which is what Wukong's doing. Go Wukong, go kill this guy. I don't care what you do at this point, right? It's very sad whenever I coach 80 carry players, because 80 carry players, they like to, it's kind of like that clip we just watched with the Vladimir, where there's a guy split pushing side and Vladimir's just taking Twitch's farm mid. Very sad for him. A lot of the time, if you're playing 80 carry, even if you're playing jungle, sometimes you're going to have to catch sideways. So this is the most important thing, is whenever you see a minion wave that looks like this, or if we even go back and we pretend that we're red team, we're never going to let waves like this die because this is so bad, right? So whenever you get a wave and it will go into this tower, you see what happens when they don't catch it. So one, you can just kill this tower, but two, the amount of gold you lose if you don't catch this wave is way more than this fight. Way, way, way more important than this fight. So this is how we can get our farm and still join fights. So for example, if we look at any member on the enemy team, right, they probably just stood around here sharing farm, had a random team fight, and didn't get much, right? But if we look at our Super Chad Wukong, he got all his minion waves, and then while he was fighting, he was setting up a wave to go farm. Nice for him. And then the other advantage too is, let's pretend, for example, that this fight was on this side of the map, regardless of where it happens, right? At the end of the day, this fight happens. Imagine blue team gets aced right now. Sad for them. They're completely chilling. They're completely chilling because the wave's here, so they can't take any towers. So say there's a tower here to take, wave's too far, they can't do anything. But if blue team wins, maybe they can TP top and take this tower. Or if the fight happens topside, they have the wave ready for it. So that's the big important thing we want to do. So one, we push our side wave, it goes into tower. If someone answers, great, because that guy can't just push one wave and leave, right? Because remember, our rule from last session is every time a wave touches tower, it will come back. So if he pushes that wave in to the tower and you leave, and he pushes just one wave, it's still going to come towards you. So you can still do this and hang out and just come back in time before it gets to the tower, and you'll still make that money. So whoever goes to this side lane has to push it all the way. If you don't push it all the way, then someone's just going to collect it at the tower and be a rich boy, and you're going to lose everything between there and the tower. So that's what we'll do. Every time we come off base, guys, we have a fight here. Whatever happens, happens. We don't really care. Everyone's going to reset. And now we check our waves. So if we're red team right now, do we have to go to side waves? No. All right, we all run mid. We all run mid and we fight. We do jungle camps on the way. We fight mid. This is good. This is your time. And if you win the fight, one, they lose all these waves, right? So if they come match you, they lose all these waves. Otherwise, they're catching the waves, so you have numbers advantage. And if you win a fight, you get towers because you have waves set up. So all the things are in your favor. But if you're blue team, right, either you go mid, you lose your side waves, you're sad, and then it goes back this way, and you lose everything even more. Or you go side, they have numbers mid, that's fine, we just respect. But then also, as I said, if you lose a fight, you lose all your towers. If you win a fight, you gain nothing. So we're going to get our sideways first. We're always going to get our sideways first from now on. Top wave is an example again. This is sad, isn't it? We got that kill, but instead of the wave being like here, it's here. So we're a bit slower getting to this top tower. So we're on top tower still, but we could have been on that top tower 10 seconds earlier if we went on the wave straight away. Beautiful, went in. And so now the exact same thing's going to happen, right? This Graves is going to lose farm unless he pushes this wave. So we can see again, it's going to come back to blue team. All right, so now Aurelia's pushing it all the way out. We're fighting with a numbers advantage, but we're not back in time, so we're naughty boys. So we lose the tower. So that's the big thing. You got to be back in time. Beautiful. League's very simple in that aspect. Just check what your sideways are when you come off base. If they're on your side, catch them. If they're not, go push them as far as you can. So as far as you're safe to push, you push. Make them stuck there for as long as possible, and then walk mid, you'll always have numbers. And if you don't have numbers, then you're just getting a shit ton of farm. And you're happy either way. All right, where's that point from earlier? 13 minutes. I showed a point from earlier. Here we go. Of someone doing a good recall after they get a kill. This is a very similar point, but this is the opposite. This is the naughty boy version. So we're looking at Malzahar here. He's being a naughty boy. He's pushing his wave in. Good man. Deny those creeps. But now he's trolling. So he's got 2.3k gold. He's useless. Dragons in 48 seconds. So he's cost his team dragon here by staying. So he's being a naughty boy. So every time you kill someone or send them to base, there's something to think about, right? And I'll explain this in a second, but there is a bonus in dying and there is a bonus in losing. And that is that you have tempo. So here, for example, Zed is effectively dead. So it's a bit of a trade-off, right? Everything that's happening to Zed sucks. So he's losing a wave. He's losing tower plates. This is all bad, undeniable. And this is better for red team. You can't deny that, right? But the one good thing is Zed is here. Malzahar is slower. So if Malzahar's a good player, right, he starts recall. Where's the quickest recall he could start? Starts recall now. 8 seconds. He's on the same tempo as Zed. He's maybe 5 seconds later. So it doesn't really matter. It's essentially the same. They come out at the same time and there's no mid gap. But because we stay and we hit tower, all right, and we take an extra wave. Now we recall. Zed's already on the map doing something. And so there's a mid gap. How sad's this guy? Zed's come and kill him. Okay, Zed's trolled. But regardless, right? Imagine in a perfect world if this is a challenge game or just anything in general. This Zed is on the map doing something, and this Malzahar's doing nothing. So what should happen, right, is maybe he goes here and kills them, fine. But what we can imagine is instead of Zed running top and inting, we imagine that, where is he? Zed runs straight mid. He's here, he's here, he's here, he's here, he's here, he's here, he's here. Catches this. Wave's dead. And the next wave, Malzahar's still not here. So if he'd recalled earlier, right, he'd be protecting this minion wave. He'd be stronger. And so he would kill this minion wave. He'd make Zed stand here and do nothing. And then Malzahar would be the one right now. He would be running around on the map doing something, mid-gapping the game. And Zed would be the one stuck on the tower. But then in this instance, if Zed's not an inter, Malzahar's not here to contest this wave. Zed kills the wave, Malzahar stands here and does nothing, and Zed's the one on the map taking things. So this is the important thing, right? So you're not gonna see necessarily. It's more of a missed opportunity than something bad, right? You're gonna have a very big missed opportunity here. As I explained, Zed would be stuck here. This Malzahar could already be halfway to bot lane right now. You can imagine, right? This wave is already dead. He's walking down to protect bot lane. He sees Poppy at Dragon like a bot. He kills him. And he protects his bot lane. But in turn, right? Malzahar did a bad recall. It was late. It might not look like this was his fault, but he could have stopped all of this, right? So he loses his bot lane, who frankly were inting, but he could have been here to stop this. And he could have stopped this dragon. And he could have saved this tower. So just there, because Malzahar wanted to right click a tower for a plate, he loses a tower, a dragon, 2 kills. Pretty bad, right? So when would you take a plate in the early game? So this is something to do with last session that is really nice, is when I explained about building the huge minion wave as slow as you can and then nuking it as fast as you can. When you have that big minion wave, it's really nice, right? You get a kill. You can have this massive wave to hit the tower with. So perfect example is when you're stacking that minion wave and you die, it's not that bad for you because 1, you've already killed all the creeps, and then 2, your enemy has to kill that whole wave, which takes time. And then that means that you get the quickest recall of all, right? You die, you're instantly here, and you run out. So you'll be first. You'll be first to your lane. So that's the benefit of dying. You're first to your lane. Enemy has to kill your giant creep wave that you just stacked and then recall. So you'll be first. And you'll have this opportunity that the Zed did in this instance, right? Where you can be back first. Even though you died, you still get some time alone with the wave on the next deploy. If you have a huge creep wave though, if you're the one with a big stacking creep wave and you get the kill, you don't have to kill any creeps. There's maybe 6 and you've got 10 creeps to help you. So you very quickly kill it and you get back on the map quickly. So very early game, you don't really want to take towers. You don't really want to hit them because you won't get punished as much in low elo, but there is a lot of missed opportunities. And if you get to high elo, you will be punished massively for staying to hit plates. So the time you want to hit towers in low elo is when you get a kill in front of the tower. So say I got a big stacked wave here. It's going crash. I kill the guy. He's dead for 20 seconds. Awesome. I'll hit tower for 10 seconds and then I'll recall. Because remember, the timer we're using is his respawn. So his respawn timer is the latest possible time that we want to be on the map, if possible, so that we can get back to the wave and do exactly that, kill the wave and make him stuck here. So that we avoid this situation. So you base your recall off the timer, not how close you are to the next plating. Yeah. So you can you kind of have a choice, right? You can be a very greedy boy and stay for gold, and of course, if you're 100 gold up a mythic and you int your base timing to take an extra wave, like maybe it's a bit cringe, but you have to do what you have to do. But most of the time, get the kill, recall as fast as possible. It means that you'll get to the next wave in time to protect it, which means he'll be stuck on tower again. So, where's kid? So remember before the concept from last session, where stack wave, we stack wave, we stack wave. We get the kill here, awesome. All right, it crashes in the tower, he's dead for 20 seconds. We take one plate, we don't take two, because taking two would take us past his respawn time, right? So then he respawns. We want to be in base at the same time. So if we're at base at the same time, we run back out, we meet him here at the same time. We're stronger, obviously, because we killed him. And then so we take that pushback again. And so he's standing on this tower doing nothing again. We instantly start stacking waves again. But of course, if we mess around and we get to lane 15 seconds after him, he kills the minion wave and we're stuck here and he walks over here and does dragon. So we solo kill him, but he gets this dragon. A lot of the time what you see in pro play, this is just the extreme example. There's a very famous clip of SKT doing this. And you'll see it a lot of the time where, say there's a team and they're defending a Baron siege, right? So we'll say this tower is dead, this tower is dead, and they're sieging like this tower and this tower, right? Attacking teams running through here, defending teams trying to catch up. It sucks, right? A lot of the time what the defending team will do is they'll just give this tower. They'll just give one tower and they'll base. Right? So you got to think, right? One team recalls. The time that they take this tower, the team's about here. Right? So then the attacking team's got to go back and they've got to recall, right? If they stay on the map, all these guys are going to come out and they're going to fight them with the buy advantage and they're going to win the game. So awesome. We gave a tower. Sucks for us. And then we got a 1k gold lead. But by the time that they start their recall, we're here. So by the time they get to their base, we're here. And so by the time we get to river, they're about here. So what you can then do, right? Say dragon's up in 30 seconds, you give this tower, you run to dragon. And then by the time the enemy gets to map, this is what they see. And so they got to now walk in. They did get 1k gold, right? But you basically sold your 1k gold for this positioning on dragon, and now you got a really nice team fight. So that's the extreme, right? That's the biggest extreme of like the extent that you can take this, I guess. Beautiful. I think I got more replays. If you guys have questions, by the way, feel free to throw them in the chat. Totally fine with that. And this is another example. This is from, I've got a few clips here. This is from a solo queue game I played. I showed this clip this morning, but it's a very good one. It's support role, so everything is exaggerated because support is broken when it comes to tempo. So I think here I just get a wave in and I recall as fast as possible. One thing to notice, right? If you're ever playing support, do this. It's completely broken. I don't have to help him take these creeps. You start recall quick. So if I'm Faker, I start recall in this bush and I've started a recall already. And I save myself the 3 seconds to run to this bush. But we can pop forward, right? This is the best thing about rushing boots on support as well. By the time that Lulu is like here in base, I'm already here. And so I get this full vision because I know I can run in because he's not here yet. So right now I have like a 20-second tempo lead. So I'm just in this jungle way before him and I get like full bot side vision. And now they can't play the game, right? Here way before enemy support, and that's just because I hit B fast. If I'd stayed around and done some dumb shit, then I wouldn't be here in time, right? And so then, we have full god vision, we go in, we kill this guy, game's over, we're happy boys. Where's my next clip? This is from one of my pro matches about a week and a bit ago. This is another great example. We always recall quickly after team fights because the exact same thing, right? And even more important with our sideways. So when you win your team fight, you want to base as quick as possible. A lot of the time in low elos, people will just randomly go to a dragon or something. If the fight happens in front of dragon and you can kill the dragon and be out at the same time that they respawn, great, go for it. But generally, you still aim for the same thing. You want to be on the map as a team at the same time. Obviously, it's not quite like that in solo queue, but every role has an advantage. So support, you can do what I just did, where you run out, you get some really nice wards before the enemy is alive, which is great. You can sometimes run out, place a bunch of wards, and then recall, and then come out again. And so you have 3 wards on the ground and 3 wards in your inventory. As jungle, that's the only time you're going to get to clear your camps. League is a very fast-paced game, and so if you recall very quickly before your teammates get onto map, you're going to get to do 2 camps before they want to fight. So that's how you maximize your farm as jungle, because once you've got all your outers, you're not allowed to farm anymore. You got to run around. If you're playing your solo lanes, that is your time to get your side waves, right? A lot of the time people don't want to go to side waves in these lower elos because their team will 4v5 and die. I'm telling you right now, it's completely fine if your team 4v5s and die, because getting a wave in and having a bounce is worth 1k gold instantly, right? So you don't care about your team dying. But the benefit is, if you instantly recall, then you can get that wave, those 2 waves and run mid before your teammates get there and they won't die. It's beautiful your solo lanes. And then ADC, same thing. You can catch solo lanes as well because people don't like to catch solo lanes in lower elo. So this is a great example. We take a team fight, pretty sure. We take a tower, we do something. I can't remember. Enemies inting. They're bad. Either way. Cool. Alright, so we got this tower. Now, this is a bad boy move. Alright, so this is inting. The point is still good. It's fine, but we check these death timers, right? This is when we want to be in map, is by these death timers. So we're being naughty boys hitting tower right now. We could have recalled 10 seconds ago. We could be in base at 20. So when it's 20, 20's now, we could already be heading top and catching our waves and clearing our jungle and all that good stuff. But regardless, fast forward, we get on map. And we still got onto the map reasonably quick, right? I get to river before Braum, which is the important thing. Just think, because I'm on like same speed to a slightly faster, I get to this river first, which means Braum doesn't get any vision, which is nice. You know, if I'm 20 seconds later, they're already set up in here. I have to take it back. It's really sucky. So we get onto the map fast. We get that mid wave before they do. So now they have to catch that mid wave under mid. Awesome. There's Viego. He has to show. If he doesn't show, they're going to lose the wave, which is bad. And so now we get to run up and we get to defend this top wave and take back all this vision. Awesome. We're on our side wave quick. Our Calista pushes. And look, the enemy's instantly defending again. So you can imagine if we'd stuck around for another 20 seconds, did all their jungle camps, then recalled, the enemy would have got a chance to push waves. Then we have to catch our side wave, right? And then they can group up mid, and then they get to play the game for 30 seconds. But instead of that, you keep the constant pressure, you keep like the speed, the tempo. And instead of that, we're straight from base, straight into their jungle, and we're straight to sieging another tower. Even though we did hitting mid tower for fun. And I don't know what happens here, but whatever. Look at us go, we're beasts. But regardless, you always keep them on that back foot because you're always faster. It's the important thing. So you're freezing. How do you maintain it? When do you break it and switch to slow push or fast push? Freezing is good. The timer I like to use is about 6 minutes 30 or 7 minutes. Once you are strong enough that you can stack a wave and threaten a tower, it's better to push than to freeze. So generally when you're sitting on a Doran's Blade and Dragon's not a thing people can take, Herald's not a thing people can take, no one's strong enough to actually take more than half a plate if you crash a wave, it's completely fine to freeze because the biggest advantage you can get is a CS lead. Once you've recalled and you have, you're a pickaxe top laner or a pickaxe AD and you can actually hit a tower, there's Dragons and Heralds to take, which is always, people have ults at level 6, solo laners are 6 at about 6 minutes, 37 minutes. That's the time that you're not really allowed to freeze anymore. The lead you're going to get from freezing is not really worth it. Something cool in mentality to think about is if the enemy is stronger than you, a freeze is basically setting up a wave for them. You can imagine, right? If I'm a top laner and I'm freezing a wave here, but then the enemy is stronger than me, they walk in here with their top laner and then their jungler walks here, they didn't have to stack a wave, I did it for them. And they just crash that wave that I stacked for them because I was freezing, and then they dive me and I die and lose it all. So You can't freeze forever. And as I said, once you're level 6 and people are strong, if I'm level 6 and I'm trying to freeze and level 6 Darius crashes his wave and level 6 Sejuani ults me, I die, right? But if I'm level 2 or level 3, I can deny minions, and I don't think Sejuani and Darius are diving me at level 2 or 3, right? Very sad. So that's a very important thing. I'm going to pull up another replay as well. This is a student, he actually got way better at Herald. So Herald is something that, here we are. Herald is actually the most important objective in the game. First Herald. If you ever watch pro play at 8 minutes, every single player in the universe shows up for that Herald fight because it actually dictates the entire game. So this is another reason why we don't freeze past that 6 minutes, 37-minute timer, because as I said, right, stack wave, crash it, enemy shows you go do something. If I'm a top laner and I'm freezing, they just crash the wave. I'm showing, they go do something, that something's take Herald. Taking Herald is better than denying 10 creeps. So you don't really care, right? What time was this that he does it? 2-2 mid, be here. We have Herald yet? We don't have Herald. It's like I need to take a note for this time, boys. Oh, Terrell was when he crashed the tower before mid destruction.
Yeah,
Oh, was it?
I think it's just there.
Oh, it's
yeah.
here. Oh, I'm trolling. Okay, beautiful. All right, so this is a beautiful one. He farms up to Herald. Good stuff. So this is something very important when you play jungle. And this is something I taught him, is you always go through a lane to get an objective. So this is why we're not freezing at 9 minutes, right? Our Mordekaiser has push. Awesome. Crashes the wave. He's covering him while he crashes the wave, right? Who's the only person on the map who can die right now? It's this guy. He's the one being aggressive. They're most likely going to try gank him, so he's covering him. Awesome. Our Mordekaiser's actually trolling, whatever the fuck this is, whatever. Okay, cool, we kill him, good job. But we get that push in, and we go take this Herald. Awesome. We always move through a lane. So this is going back to my first session where I always talk about everything is done through waves, right? You crash this, say we're not strong as fuck, right? And we can't actually dive this guy, that's fine. And this is the one very important thing is it's you have to get out of the mentality of thinking about killing people. In League, you don't care about killing people, which is bizarre. What you care about, it's a means to an end. So what that means, right? What's our Graves thinking right now? Graves is thinking, I want Herald. How does he get Heralds? He has to crash a wave top so that this guy shows, and then he can go take it. So if this guy does anything to stop him doing that, then he kills him. But he's not going to go out of his way for it, right? So if this guy is being a dumbass and trying to fight over this wave, then he kills him, fine. Obviously here we just kill him for free, so it's fine. But once we get that wave, we don't have to kill him. If this guy lives, it's perfectly fine. Obviously it's nice to kill him, but if we can't kill him, completely fine. Because he's conceded, we already have the Herald secured. So he gets the Herald, nice. What are we doing now? And now we're doing the exact same thing. We're going through a lane yet again. So this guy has a crashing wave. So we go through the lane. So enemy hasn't done that. They've gone and tried to start dragon without going through a lane. And look how it ended for them, right? It sucks. They're losing a tower. Because one team goes through a lane, the other team doesn't. They're just here doing nothing and they're just losing minions mid. And also, if you crash a wave and no one's there, you just hit the tower. Which is exactly what happened, right? But if we go back, in theory, right, we're not planning to use Herald mid. All right, our plan is not to use Herald mid here. Our plan is to pick up Seraphine and go somewhere. So generally, you don't want to just go somewhere and use a Herald. You want to go through somewhere and pick someone up and go use a Herald. So ideal, right? Because we push a wave in and no one answers it, we can Herald and take the tower, fine. But in theory, Sivir, I think, is the mid laner. Sivir's standing here. We don't want to Herald in front of Sivir. Like if you're strong enough, you can take the full tower, sure, do it. But in theory, Siv's here, we want a Herald in front of her, so we kill the wave, Herald's, she's stuck here, we walk down and we do Dragon, and Siv is stuck there. Or we walk down, and then this is just from before. If we go as fast as possible in League, we can go one wave to the other. So here's our mid wave. Kill the mid wave now. It's dead in 2 seconds. It's dead. Here's our bot wave. Hasn't gone in yet. So as I explained before, the waves are staggered. You can go mid to side, side to mid. So we can do exactly that. We can take this, we can run down, and we can use this wave to use Herald, or we can defend our bot lane. Either way. And this also goes for later stages in the game, right? When I talked about having longer lanes, you've taken these towers and you push a wave into this one. If you crash a wave here, you're 100% going to make it mid when a wave arrives there. So if you go from pushing a wave into their tier 2 and you run to mid, you'll be there when a wave's there. And that's the big thing. You want to be places where waves are. We're not fighting for the sake of fighting. We're fighting because people are in our way, is the mindset change we want to have. So awesome. We get this banger Herald down. How good are we? Doing some fun shit, whatever. And we do a nice dragon. Because, right, we crashed a wave, Siva has to show. So this whole sequence was great, right? This whole sequence, we didn't just start Herald, right? Because you can imagine if we dash this wall and we start Herald, and our Mordekaiser isn't playing Mordekaiser, and their jungler isn't useless, they can just gank him, or they can go through the lane, right? Imagine their jungler even just walks in the lane with him, and it's 2v1, so this guy can't take push, right? You're taking Herald, this guy's 2v1, he can't take push, he has to back off, he stands here. They crash the wave, then they walk in and they kill you as you're finishing Herald. So through the wave first, that's why he covers Mordekaiser, so they can't do that. They do the Herald together in theory, but Mordekaiser kills him. But if the guy's not dead, Mordekaiser would help. And then they go mid, plan to go somewhere, but then that's the punish, is because they didn't show mid, they can go to the punish. Okay. Any questions, guys? On that part? What do I have? What more clips do I have? I'm running out of replays. I think I have another replay here I could throw up. I can't remember this one. I don't know if this is a good one. I used all my replays in the first session today, guys. But we can nail home the points on sideways. I think this is another one where we don't get enough sideways, or we compensate too much. So again, we go to after towers are taken, which shouldn't be at 16 minutes, but it is for some reason. This one just fucked. Can't remember. Alright, so with Callista, we check. Do we have to catch a side wave? In theory, our Vladimir is catching this bot wave, but he's trolling, so we're going to catch it ourselves, which is fine. We'll have to do this as AD carry. How far can we push it? So you're going to ask this every single time you're in a side wave. How far can I push it? Can I push another? Is it safe? The answer is yes. He's not going to die, so he pushes another. All right, can I push another without dying? Yes or no? Let's check his vision. I'm going to say probably not, but I think we're flipping it. So fuck it, flip it. All right, we got it. Awesome. Getting this wave is great. You know, it's even better because now they have to answer this, but now we're standing here doing nothing. So instead of doing all of this, completely useless, right? We got a bunch of kills, but what do we have to show for it? We have no wave. We overstay for this tower. It's useless. It's trolling. Don't do this, right? So we can go back before. We crash a wave. We make them show. If we want Herald right now, what can we do, guys? Waves are staggered. Bot, run to mid. We're going to make it before this wave dies. And so we can take our priority bot. We can run up to mid. Already be halfway to mid by now. It'd be about here. You think this Swain can live? He's bot lane. He's sitting bot lane. And we've got 3 people here. This guy's dead if he tries to contest the wave. And so this is what I mean. We're not looking for kills. You're essentially taking push, transferring it to another lane, and then transferring that into an objective. But If this guy gets in our way, we kill him. If he doesn't, if he's a good boy and he backs off, we don't. So if we get to mid and he's standing here, we're not going to try and kill him. We're not going to try and hit tower. We're just going to take the wave and do the herald, right? But if he's being a naughty boy like this and he wants to die, then we kill him. And then we go do what we're doing. So we only kill people when they're in our way. But instead, we've done nothing, right? Cool way to look at it. Yep. So we've been a naughty boy, we've crashed a wave, and we've done nothing with it. So every time you crash this wave, right, we don't have to be bot. What's the wave going to do? When it's a tower, what does the wave do? It comes back. When do we have to be bot? Here. So our Callista can run here. He can fight at Herald. He can recall and be bot when the wave crashes. And he lost no farm. And they're going to lose a bunch of farm, right? Either they've got to stay and hard push this, and then they're not a part of the fight, or they've got to run off and leave the wave coming back to him. And then I think we even get another example of recalling fast. So that's fine. We take 2 kills instead, right? And this is what I say is the problem in low elo is I'm sure his scoreline is going to be something ridiculous, but he's going to lose this game because we haven't taken any objectives. The game hasn't progressed. We've taken kills, we've got money, but if we just repeatedly get kills and then more kills and then more kills, we haven't taken an objective. We haven't gotten this tower or this tower or this. Honestly, we probably get mid tower when we walk mid, right? They've got 2 people bot, we walk mid, we show up with 4 people, Swain can't defend it, we get mid tower. So you can go one way into the other, take an objective. You're just out-rotating them, essentially. And that actually accelerates the game. And this is a beautiful example, right? All right, check their death recall, like their recall timer, right? They're up in 20 seconds. What's better than being back on the map when they respawn? It's being back on the map quicker, right? If we insta-recall and we run out, and Ornn's going top, so we don't have to go top, but we run straight bot. Let's do like a hypothetical recall at the perfect time. See what we can get done. All right, and B. He's on the map in 8 seconds. He's on the map now. He's here. He comes out with this wave. Oh, look, we're in the exact same position that we used to be, except we're not sitting on 1400 gold. So we can go back to pressuring, and we'll check where their bot lane is. They're here. So we're on the map quicker, and so they're instantly back to defending again. We can be on the map, say Rumble's not here, right? We're back on the map for them. We crash this wave. This guy's just receiving it. He's not attacking again. We take this tower, and then we transfer to mid again. And then we take mid tower, and then we go down to dragon. So we get like all these objectives, but instead of doing that, all right, best case scenario right now, we can't take this tower, right? Best case scenario, we get this wave, Lee Sin doesn't die, and we realize we can't take the tower because we're sitting on 1500 gold and he's just off base, right? And so now we can't get this. And then we have to concede dragon because he's going to push in a wave and we have to catch it here. And so then we can't drop this, right? We're not dropping waves to towers anymore. That's old news. So then we have to catch this and they do dragon while we're catching it and we're sad. So that fast recall is completely broken here because we get on the map before him, which means we get to push our waves first, which means he answers. Because if they don't answer, they lose tower. If they do answer, then we just go walk somewhere and do something. But in this instance, we probably just take the tower because we're strong enough. We've been a naughty boy here. So now Callista is absolute worst case scenario. When you overstay enough that you get chased out and your recall gets stopped 50 times, that's the absolute doomsday scenario. I think I have another recall of that happening to someone bot lane. Another replay. Oh, exactly that happens. Blue team gets dragon. Okay, no, they don't. At least in smurfing. But regardless, blue team should have got dragon, right? I think they even got a mid tier 2. That was all in regards to this. That was all to do with this, not recalling quick enough. So instead of attacking their objectives, they're attacking ours. My second lesson. I don't know if I have any more clips, guys. One sec, I'm looking. Oh, I might. Oh, I found a second folder with clips. 12 minutes. Oh, this is one of my solo queue games I played earlier today. Okay, so this is another good example. In this instance, it's pretty doomed, right? We don't really have any HP. So we push this wave and crash it. So there's a lot of things that can happen in this scenario. This is pretty complex. This is a pretty complex one. We end up pushing this wave and the enemy stays to catch it. Pretty sure. Here we go. Which is nice, right? They get +6. Right? They catch that wave that they would have missed. And then they deny 6 minions by pushing the next wave. But what happens in turn is they're in base about now, Ezreal's on the map. Right? So they gain 6 minions, but we gain a tempo lead. And look what we get. We get a dragon. All because, look where their bot lane is, Striker's here now, I'm pretty sure they steal it. And now Zai's there, Zai can't contest because she's got to get to her wave first. But in theory, this guy doesn't steal, and this objective is ours. But that's all because of this, right? So the best thing for the enemy to do here, because it's so late in the game, and Dragon's up so soon, right? Dragon's up in less than a minute. You don't care about 6 minions, you care about the Dragon. So you recall, you be on map first. Because you're on map first, you get to your wave first. Because you get your wave in, that means that they're stuck on the tower, and wherever you go, you have numbers. And so you can run to a fight and win the fight, or you can run to the Dragon and you're first there. And you full set up for it and they can't contest it. Which is exactly what happens here, right? They get a 6 creep lead, but we get to Dragon first, and in theory, this is just ours for free. Beautiful. What else do we have? Tempo. This is, I think, the clip I was trying to find. Would it be better for them to do slow fast because you would be stuck under tower? I think this instance is like so late in the game, it's 12 minutes, that doesn't really work anymore. Like slow fast works for like early game when you're not strong enough to just nuke a wave. The most you ever want to stack past that point of like, remember I always use like 637 minutes as the number. Past 637 minutes, the most you want to stack is 2 waves. And the reason you want to stack at that point is just because you want to kill a wave fast as possible and go somewhere. So say you arrive at lane and the wave's already there. If you kill it, the next wave might, like, instead of being like here, it might be like here, right? And so you kill the wave, you walk off, the wave's there in 5 seconds, it's bad. So you would hold that wave just till the next one arrives, and then you kill it all together so that you have that 20 seconds before the next wave. Sorry, what am I doing? 12 minutes. Am I at 12 minutes? Oh, 15:30. What am I looking at? Hold up a sec, guys. I'm not organized. 7:30. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong notes, the wrong replay. All right, I think we're looking at Siva's tempo. I think he does some silly things. Yes. So Siva's getting her wave in. This is good. Got our wave in. It's coming back. We insta recall, right? We want to insta recall, be on map as quick as possible, but we're being a naughty boy right now, hitting the tower for nothing. And look at how bad this turns out. He gets his recall stopped. And then it snowballs from there. Now we get a plate. We get a dive. I'm the Amumu, by the way. We deny another wave. It's so bad what we lose. But if we go back earlier to before he ints, and we theorize that he recalls insta. Alright, start recall now. He's out at 50. Beautiful, he's out at 50, so he's here. And he doesn't lose a wave. Right? So if you recall that really fast, you don't lose this wave. You're a happy boy, you come out, you catch it, you take pushback on the next wave. It's completely fine. But if you do that fuck around like he did, it looks like this, which is really bad. So good tempo play there, boys. Beautiful. God, I spent all day finding clips for this. This one's a clip of 12 minutes. Okay, I think exactly that happens. I think this is another temper recall or a kill into a recall or something. Oh no, this is the thing we just looked at, I think. Oh yeah, where we get the dragon. This is it. It's just my POV. And then I think this is the final replay that I'll have. So I've actually timed this so well. Look at me go. Oh my god, what is this replay? That's a few kills. I think it's just more waves dying to tower, boys. I think we get the point. Or I think it's just a bot wave that no one touches ever. I don't know what I'm looking at. We get the point. I don't know what this replay is. We get the point, boys. All right, so we can get farm, and then we can get to the fight. So we can maximize our farm by getting to our wave quicker, and then we can get to the fight. So a bunch of benefits in doing this, right? You get to your wave, you get the farm before the fight. If you win the fight, you get an objective because you have a wave crash. If you lose, it's fine, you don't lose anything. The whole time you're running around looking for the fight, the wave's coming back to you, so you're getting more farm. It's just real nice. So we can thrive in the chaos of Iron, running around taking fights, but we just always have that advantage that we know that at the end of the day, we're going to go back, we're going to catch that wave before it gets to our tower, and regardless of what happens in the fight, we made 1k gold just from crashing a wave and coming back to it. And when our enemy doesn't do this, I think I found a replay of one of you guys sent in. I watched a bot lane and it was literally 7 minutes and not a single person went there. I couldn't believe what I was watching. The amount of gold that went down the bin. And then also, when you go to those random fights, right, you crash a wave, enemy has to answer. You can be very confident in going anywhere you want, and just know that one of the enemies is showing under a tower, and so you're a happy boy. You can go do anything you want. Beautiful. I'll take any questions you guys have now. Throw them all out, and I'm sure Dylan has a link to my coaching if you guys are interested at all. After the last session, I offered to do any. I said I was available for a few hours. I'm not. I'm going to bed. It's been a long day. But anytime after tomorrow, I'm sure. Yeah, and Dylan's nice enough. I went and pestered him to make a discount code for you guys to use for your first session. So there you go. You got a cheeky discount code because I'm a nice guy and I pestered the boss man. Beautiful, guys. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to take it. Otherwise, I think that's it. We've wrapped it up. And as always, just feel free to message me whenever you want, guys. I'm here to help. So you get any questions after the session, just shoot me a message and I'm happy. Wow, amazing. Thank you, guys. Great session again. Thank you, guys. All right, smash it, guys. Go get minion waves before you fight. I'll see you guys in a week. I think we have another one, which will be closing out games. Which this is on the similar topic to that. You can see how it all relates, but we're also going to talk a bit about team fighting and neutrals and good things like that. So awesome. I'll see you guys in a week, or if I see you sooner because you want a session, then awesome. See you guys.